Hey everyone! Welcome back. I am back today with more Attack on Titan, you guys. I cannot wait to see what is going to happen next. If you're joining me early today, you already know what it means. It means you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so much, and as always, I'm sending up those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in the description down below. So, all right, guys, let's talk about last episode a little bit because there's a couple things I want to address. First of all, I want to say, oh my God, I actually got the Grace thing. I was really embarrassed when it happened because I'm like, I couldn't remember who he was. But then I was told afterwards that that even like the reference was kind of very subtle, and the fact that I caught it was like, especially, you know, considering we're talking about me here, like I forget like entire characters and everything, was kind of a good thing. It was kind of a good thing that I actually, like, the name rang a bell, you know. And I did look it up afterwards and find out that we had seen Grace alongside Grisha at the end of the last season in the flashbacks and everything. So, so Falco apparently, and I guess Colt too, because they're brothers, right? Is that right? Are related to Grace. So, yay! I got something right for once. Let's just all take a moment to appreciate it. So I think that's pretty cool. That's a fun little, because that kind of adds another little component to, like, if one of your relatives had been kind of like working against everything that the government is putting forth, then that will probably contribute even more to your, like, having to prove yourself, as we see is the case with many of the Eldians who live in the Marley Nation. Like, they really feel like they have to prove themselves, or prove that they're not, like, not all Eldians are bad because of just this indoctrination that's going on inside the Marley Nation, that, like, all the Eldians are quote unquote devils, and just wow, you guys. I also want to talk a little bit about Reiner in the last episode because I really love what they did with him, but admittedly it took some comments to clarify for me what exactly the tone was that they were going for in that the dinner scene, which I guess is a pretty famous scene. I loved the scene. I thought it was great. Watching it the first time, I think my initial thoughts were that because the last time we saw Reiner, he was so split. He was either the Marley warrior or the, you know, the loyal friend and soldier for our crew. So I could not tell that he was kind of trying to be subversive with that whole speech. I just thought that, you know, he had fully shifted back into, like, okay, I am, you know, we are going to destroy all the bad people and blah, blah, blah. But because of that split, he could not come up with examples that were like, because I mean, there was some nasty stuff. Let's be real. Like, it was not all like, nobody was like all perfect inside the walls either. Like, there was stuff there, but he clearly made such an attachment. And it made such an impression on him when he was there that, like, my thinking, my reasoning watching that was that, oh, he couldn't even really, even though he's shifted back into this persona, he couldn't even think of an example where they were being, like, true devils. You know, he came up with, like, the potato girl example and everything. And I got some kind of mixed feedback on, like, maybe that is what they were going for. You kind of couldn't tell, but either way you can see just how this situation is not really black and white. I'm also told that in the manga it was much, it was kind of made very clear that he was having a problem with the way that the people at the table were talking about the people inside the walls. I was sent, like, a panel from the manga where you can see, like, Reiner's clearly irritated by the way that Gabby is talking about them. So, So I guess that's something that I just didn't pick up on. I think that could have just been me. Or maybe it was, a deliberate choice for the anime to kind of like, you couldn't tell where exactly he was going with it. Or it could just be me. Come on, guys. I mean, I got the grace thing though. I'm going to take that one with me to the grave. And just celebrate that one little win that I had. But yes, I love what they're doing with Reiner here. And I love that we get to see more of Reiner in general. There were so many times in previous seasons of the show where I was just like, begging for like, why are they doing this? Why do they feel this way? What are they talking about? And getting this kind of backstory and getting kind of like a window more into his thoughts and where he was brought up and everything, it is really, really awesome. And I hope it's something we get to explore more because, it was made a little bit clearer when he was talking with, Falco that, we've seen a couple instances just in the last episode alone where he was like trying to be the loyal Marleyan, or he's not a Marleyan, but I mean, he's trying to be loyal to their nation. So we saw it a couple of times, like where he stopped, Galliard when Galliard was having like a problem in that meeting, and when he was talking with Falco and he was like, are you trying to like throw shade on our great Marley nation? But then like in the same sentence he's like, okay, let's save Gabby, so you can see that he isn't just one way or the other anymore. It does seem like he has some kind of acceptance and understanding of the fact that things are not the way that they seem. They're not the way that the Marley Nation is making it seem. I find that very interesting because, again, like last time we saw Reiner, he was like split down the middle. He could not accept that. He was either this or this. And at some point, I'm not saying he healed or he is better at all from his trauma, but at some point there was some kind of convergence of those two so that he knows in his heart what is really going on, but is able to still kind of put on enough to survive that, like, oh yes, they're all bad, let's all get them, yay Marley, so long story short, I cannot wait to see more of that. But you guys, you didn't come here to see me rant. You came here to see me watch Attack on Titan, the final season. One thing I'll point out really, really quick. I put this in text in my last reaction. Peak, the cart Titan. Got it. Did not put that together in my head, but I got it now. She's fun. I'll look forward to seeing more of her. And we got some other stuff last episodes too, because they introduced this new concept of a new Titan that like this wealthy family has, and we're going to be making use of it at some point, I suppose. So, all right, guys, there's only one way to find out what is coming next in the show, and that is to jump right into the next episode. Let's go. Oh. Who is this? Was this little Reiner? Oh. Oh, God, no. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, that, no. Oh, Reiner. I never thought I could feel this much for him. Oh. Oh. What? 島の悪魔どもは僕が必ず皆殺しにしてみせますってな。俺たちの任務をバカにするのか。それとも。Oh, that's how dangerous that way of talking is. Oh no. 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 Oh. That escalated really fast. Is that going to be? Oh, it's little bird hole. Oh my god.
愚子じゃない。それに、忠誠心は大事だと思うけど。ね、兄。
Annie's just off doing her. Yeah, Annie's doing her own thing, as always. Bertholdt's like, hey, Annie. Hey.
3年しかないんだよ。
13年で英雄になるんだろう。
Oh, God. It's just the way of looking at it. Oh, my God. If you saw this first... If you saw this first, like, this would be our main character. These would be the... Oh, my God. No. And they're showing it all from... Oh, dear God. Oh, no. And I love how they just cut away. This is insane because if you saw this first, Reiner would be like your little like shonen protagonist that you were rooting for. Oh, and there's his mom, so proud. Yeah, you know what? They just do an excellent job of showing. Oh, this is dad. Oh. They probably can't even be talking. Oh. No! お前の出自が調べられたら俺の一家はおしまいだ。Oh my god. 俺は逃げ切ってやるからな。お前らエルディアの悪魔の親子から。His whole reason for doing this, so that his family could be reunited. 選ばれた戦士。島の悪魔からみんなを救い、世界の You can see exactly where the motivation is from now. I never thought I could feel so much empathy for him, ever. Oh. See, he was like the most determined. No wonder he had like a total split once he got to know them. Look at how determined he is. Huh? Oh. Oh. That's, oh dear God. That's why he, oh, and then he got, okay, so his brother was, so that was young Galliard that we saw. They called him Porco. But they, oh God. Oh, Reiner. Oh. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. Oh, so he was, okay, he was the leader. So what makes them go? Is he gonna talk them into, oh my lord, he is. Oh, Reiner, he's gonna turn out to be like the strongest of all of them. Oh. He's just doing what he needs to do to survive all the time. Oh, but he was never meant to go out. No wonder. Oh my God, Annie! Berthold, do something! Oh, she's like, whatever, they're all... Oh. Oh my God, Reiner. Oh my God, Reiner! What? Oh my God!
やめてくれ。
Berthold just watching. Oh, dear Lord.
選手なんだ。帰ろう。みんなで故郷に。
Oh my god! He's like, oh my god. Oh, no. He, like, was the least prepared of all of them, but he's the one who, like, went the farthest to stay on track. He really did have to become someone else. Interesting.
願いを叶え、父と3人で幸せに暮らせると思ったから。
Oh.
そんなことを望む父はどこにもいなかった。
Oh my, I cannot believe.
続けていた。
I cannot believe
俺は選ばれるはずのない
he
選
has
手で
been through this much.
今日知りたい。まだ終わりたくない。まだ何も分かってないんだ。
He's been carrying all of that on top of the whole being split thing.
マルセル、俺、本当の戦士になるから。
Oh my lord.
人類を救うためです。
Holy cow! Hang on, let's pause this. Let's pause. All right, warrior candidates, a unit of child soldiers consisting of Eldian devils under command of the... I like how even in this they put it in quotes. Under command of the Marley army, they undergo harsh training and are selected based on their grade skills. So, I mean, this is... oh, devotion to Marley is one of the... Is only Eldian devils can inherit the 9 type. Okay. So that's why they have to... Because I wondered, like, over the last few episodes, like, if they hate the Eldians so much, but it has to be the Eldians because only people of the bloodline can inherit the 9 Titans. The existence of Eldians is crucial for the defense of Marley. We know that's like their whole defense system at this point. It's not a very strong system, as we can see. Like, a lot of tech has been built up that is now surpassing this whole system that they've built. As such, Eldians selected to become warriors are granted honorary Marleyan status along with... Okay, can we just talk about this for a second? Let's just talk about this for a second. This is so wrong that you are making people work for the right to have any rights. That's awful. On top of that, I knew that Reiner had been through a lot. Seeing last episode showed me, okay, clearly this mentality would probably, if you had grown up in that and that's all you knew, no wonder he goes in, he meets the other kids, and he suffers this just kind of psychotic break. Did not know about the about what he went through with his mother-father situation. The way that he was rejected by his father, I have not felt that kind of like heartbreak since we saw what Historia went through with her mother. Just that kind of complete like lack of any, and even in that, in the dad's case, was you saw he was concerned about his family surviving. So it just goes back to this very crooked, broken way that things work in this world. But just to be completely rejected like that after you've already worked that hard to become a warrior. So now you're a warrior. Now your mother's out in the crowd crying and you have to follow through with it. Then you find out you weren't even supposed to be a warrior in the first place. It's interesting to me that he was not supposed to be there in the first place, yet he was the one who kind of like lost the biggest part of himself in order to make it work. And maybe some of that is because like mentally he really just was not prepared. Like it was just Marcel building him up. They got him in. But on the other hand, he really, I guess, was, I mean, perhaps the most determined. Oh my God. All right. Let's keep going.
方だった。やけに家畜が騒がしくて、耳慣れない地響きが次第に大きくなって、それが足音だと気づいて急いで窓を開けたら。
Oh.
その後は覚えてないが、馬に乗って逃げたんだ。ちょうど、お前らぐらいの子供を3人の。
Oh my God.
大勢を破壊する。始祖の巨人をあぶり出す手段は。
Okay.
あんたらの友達は大勢死ぬね。
何度も言ってるだろう。奴らは友達じゃない。だが信頼を得るのは損じゃない。むしろ孤立するお前の態度の方があからさまで。
吐きそう。これ
Oh boy.
近づけないでくれる。
Oh God. Annie's just so Annie right now.
おじさんの夢だ。
なん
で首をくくる前に僕たちにあんな話したんだ。
Oh my God. Wow. So you're really getting to see firsthand like what's really going on inside the walls, and it's not so easy to have that way of thinking. Oh, this must look familiar to Reiner. This must look very familiar.
やるべきことをやる。ただ進み続ける。それしかねえだろ。
Oh, Reiner.
巨人を一匹残らず駆逐するんだろう。お前ならやれる。
Oh, and the piano's just playing off the final shreds of Reiner's sanity here. What? Oh my God! Oh my God, he was about to... Oh my Lord! Oh boy. And we see it just happening all over again here.
君はいいやつだ。長生きしてくれるなら嬉しいよ。なんか行かないだろ。でも、
For real.
何かに背中を押されて地獄に足を突っ込むんだ。大抵その何かは自分の意志じゃない。他人や環境に強制されて仕方なく。
Didn't we talk about this last season? Like everyone's kind of got something that motivates them?
その地獄の先にある何かを見ている。それは希望かもしれないし、さらなる地獄かもしれない。それは進み続けた者にしかわからない。
That... Hold on. Were we supposed to... Okay. Are we... Hold on now. Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna say because I don't want to sound crazy. But do we know? We'll get to it. Don't worry. But the voice in the eyes though, hang on. Hold on now. I'm so like, okay, I'll let you guys clear this up because I feel like something big just happened, or maybe it didn't, and if it didn't, then I'm going off like in a completely wrong direction. But I feel like, why do I feel like the eyes and the hair and the voice all remind me a lot of Eren? But then how would that even be? Did he like, no, I'm crazy, right? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Because I feel like no, I must be crazy. We probably already know that character and I forgot who it was. Oh my god. Hang on. Now I can't get it out of my head. This is just like when I saw Not Yet for the first time and was like, why does that look like Eren's dad? Am I being insane right now? I gotta see it one more time. I gotta see it one more time. Only those who keep moving forward will ever know. Guys, I think it might be Eren. What? Alright, let me just... I want to make sure there's no after credits. I have so much I want to say. I have so much I want to say about this. Because I see a lot of recurring themes here. I see a lot of parallels between... And they even showed it. They highlighted it right there of what Reiner went through and what Eren was going through. And the way that Reiner kind of... We can see clearly now how he learned to walk in this kind of in-between world of like trying to destroy these people but also gain their trust at the same time. And you can see how that line got very blurred. I don't want to see a preview, so yeah, no, we don't need to see that. Okay. So, I think something happened at the end there, guys. I really do think that it did, but I also feel like I have the tendency to, like, really reach with crazy theories and stuff and confusing people. Like, how many times did I confuse, like, every blonde character for every other blonde character over the course of this series? So, like, I don't want to be insane, but I also kind of feel like I think they just did a big reveal there, and I think so. I don't know why I've got it stuck in my head, like the eyes, the voice. The voice I totally didn't get at first, but when I saw the eyes, there's something about Eren's eyes that like I could even recognize them when he was in his Titan form, when they first revealed his Titan form. I could like, I knew those, like he has very like beautiful, unmistakable eyes. Am I being nuts? I might be being nuts. Let's just move past that, because if that's the case, that opens up a whole other batch of questions. And if that is the case, I'm sure you guys will let me know. And I'm sure that I will be discussing it at the beginning of my next reaction. But moving on from that, because I don't want to like spend 45 minutes talking about that and everything that that means. Unless I'm sure. I will say, like, they showed somebody else, too. Like, at the end of the first episode, they, like, followed this one individual, like, a lot. Like, it was a big deal. And then, like, never followed up on it. But he was, blonde. And I know some people were, like, theorizing about who that could be. And I have to say... It made me wonder at the beginning of this season, well, we are in the beginning of the season, but it really did make me wonder, how would our crew ever hope to very directly challenge this large nation that clearly is, you know, they have much more in the way of technology, just like resources, everything. They still have many of the Titans. And I actually even had a dream last night that, like, I was watching this episode and they all just, like, charged in, and it was like 10 of them with, like, their antiquated weapons and stuff, and I was like, oh no, you guys are all gonna die. Where I'm going with this is, if they decided to infiltrate quietly, much like what happened to them, would that not be a very interesting thing? Perhaps. Again, not going to spend a lot of time talking about it because I'm not sure that's what just happened, but like my brain's like, the sirens are all going off in my brain right now, and I'm not positive that's what just happened, but I think it might be. So, well, you know what? We'll discuss that. Well, I'll come back and we'll discuss that more. But for the time being, I want to talk about the episode because, you know, we got glimpses of who Reiner and Annie and Berthold were throughout the series. And I think they did a good job with that. But getting to see everything from their perspective, like getting to see him getting bullied and like, nah, I gotta be the armored titan and I gotta bring honor to my family and get to know my dad. It's like, oh my God, if we were starting out the show this way, he would clearly be the underdog protagonist that we were following and rooting for. And then we would go right along with him and go and meet this nation of devils and find out they're all just like people. And it would be really crazy. But I could never hate Reiner and Berthold or Annie. I mean, those OVAs with Annie were just like, I would watch like a whole series about her being like a detective personally. And we got to see her doing a little bit of that in this episode as well. But you know, I always had a hard time hating them because they did a good job of showing me even what we saw, you know, clearly this is more in depth. They did a good job of showing me that there was much more to the story. And now that we're getting to see that, you really could have just left it at Reiner grew up in this environment, and you can see, like, if they had just left his backstory to last episode, I would have been like, oh, I get it. I totally get how the split happened. Look at how he grew up. Look at how the world is seen here and everything. And then going and getting to know everyone. But they took it a step further. So now the mom's reaction last episode makes a lot more sense. Like, her whole family, her whole life, her whole future was ruined by the way that this horrible, like, system works in this nation. And now that makes more sense as well. But yes, they took it a step further and showed us that Reiner at every step of the way had to push past who he was or who he thought he was to get things done. He wanted his family to be reunited. He pushed himself. You know, he finds out none of that was legit, and he, you know, should not even be there, technically speaking. And this huge loss of, like, the Jaw Titan and everything. And he pushes past who he is, who he was, and becomes something else to get things done. And when he's with all the scouts and everything, he, or just before they were even scouts, when they were just like in training, he pushes past everything to become their friend and gain their trust. I don't know if you would say that he's, at first I was like, oh my God, he's the strongest of all of them. But it's very debatable whether or not that's strength. You know what I mean? Because that kind of, that's like mentally breaking kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it is no wonder he suffered a total split. And I spent a lot of the episode thinking, like, I'm shocked that he can even, like, be around and, like, I wouldn't say he's okay from what we've seen, but like he's functioning. How is he even doing that? And then we see him with the gun in his mouth. And that's all you need to see to know that he may have had a convergence of those two Reiners, but he clearly has not reconciled anything. He is suffering. Oh my God. How is Reiner going to end up being like one of my favorite characters on this entire show? And then he stops because he hears Falco. He keeps encountering these characters who are going through what he went through. And he just is suffering as a result of it, of seeing himself in these other characters, but he can't stop himself from trying to help. Wow, guys. I really think Reiner is going to end up being like, it's really hard to like root for, because clearly like I don't want him to go and like take out any of our crew, although now I don't know if he could so easily. He really seems very split still on everything, even though he has much more awareness of the split now. I really hope it turns out that like maybe they'll all work together to like build a new world, one where there isn't this oppression, there isn't Titans ruling, like I don't know what's gonna happen to the Titans eventually. Maybe they'll do away with them somehow, or maybe they'll like, I don't know. It's so much power. You can see how like it's very easy for that power to become a form of ruling. But I don't know, like in my head, I want this to be a happy ending where like they can all work together and make this right. I don't know if Reiner's gonna get a happy ending, but I will tell you that although it's tough to like, we're gonna root for such and such character because there are so many like shades of gray, morally speaking, on this show, I do think Reiner's gonna end up being like one of the characters that is like in my heart the most. And I did not see that coming. All right, guys, I could rant all day. Good Lord. They just opened up like so much. They unloaded so much in that episode. And then the way they ended it, just, if what I think happened, you guys. And I think it did. The more I'm thinking about it now, the more I'm like, that would be the way to go. You clearly cannot show up on their doorstep and wage war with the amount of people and the resources that you had left. But if you could find your way in there, that would be a whole different story. So, okay, guys, I have a lot to think about. I'm going to go get a snack. I'm going to go take a breath. I'm going to get a snack. And I'm just going to kind of let this stew over the next week. And we'll come back and we'll talk about it. So, excellent episode as always. I feel like each episode tops itself with the amount of intensity. And I just have this feeling it's going to be that way for like the whole season. So, all right, guys, oh my God, I love that episode so much. That was crazy. I hope you loved watching it along with me. I cannot wait to see more. Please be sure to join me next time. We will watch it together. Bye for now, guys.